Hi, everybody. My name is Kai Janagabis, and we are on the 480 podcast. Guys, ASU just played Kansas. A great game. I know we all had our own predictions. We're going to be talking a little bit about the postgame. And I believe it was maybe Trevor's prediction that had a 4-point game. Crazy game. Kansas got blown out by ASU. Not necessarily blown out, 35-31, a very close ending there at the same time. But Strider, how do you think ASU performed during this game?
I feel like they left a lot on the field, actually. I feel like they played pretty good, but there were some moments dropped pass that was intercepted. That's no good. That's no good.
That is
Good
true.
response, though, from Jason.
Good response, but points were left on the board, and they still put up 35.
Let's be real, though. Have we ever seen an opening drive end like that? The Xavier Guillory catch was nuts, guys.
That was crazy. That was beautiful. And let's also not forget about the boy Jordan Tyson. He balled out, had a great game for ASU against Kansas. That was my offensive player of the game. That was my OPOG, and I absolutely loved him.
Yeah, I was impressed with their opening drive, but opening drives after a bye week typically are pretty solid because you've had a week to think about it. Usually, typically script around 2 to 3 drives.
The context is Sam Leavitt had extended the play, had a 16-yard rush, really good stuff. He still found his guy in Jordan Tyson. They switched the running back rotation a little bit, got Ralik involved early. So we were managing on those first downs, and I think our first down conversions have definitely improved since the beginning of the season.
No, and I was impressed with our run game, 309 yards.
Wow.
I believe that's our season high.
Yeah.
Is that our season high?
Yeah.
So far, yes. Yeah.
How did we not have more than that in that Scattaboo Mississippi State game? I don't know, but 309 yards.
It's because Leavitt.
And then Jake Smith with minus 11 yards, so it's even more. It's about
320.
Yeah, about 320.
320 minus the Jake Smith yards.
Yeah, 320 is great. Only a touchdown, but you know what? 4 passing touchdowns from Sam Leavitt,
who is also our Young Man of the Week. Congrats to him.
Yes,
that was a
Big
great
12
job.
newcomer of the week.
Yeah, newcomer of the week.
Scattaboo was
co-offensive player
of the week.
Yeah, so just like backup offensive player.
Yeah, dude. Big 12's loved Cam Scattaboo, giving him a couple awards so far this year. And
course.
Leavitt played out of his mind. 14 for 24, 157 yards passing isn't anything
Out of his mind.
But that 4 touchdowns, man, and they were just
They
on
were
the
great
money.
decisions.
And then the one interception, once again, was not his fault. It was Jordan Tyson bobbling
And
that. So
before this game, I have to go back to this text message. Excuse me, guys. But I sent out a quick little parlay to the boys in the group chat before this game kicked off. And I just want to say I've never been more proud and more sad about this parlay because it probably would have hit.
Did you not put it in?
I did not. No, this was a parlay I just wanted to do. I had Tyson.
You had your dad. What?
I know. I really should have asked him to put this in. It was Tyson passing touchdown anytime. Cam Scattaboo 75+ rushing, crushing. Over on points, ASU covers the spread, and Leavitt 150+ passing.
Wow.
And
every single leg hit.
I literally called this too. Please let me know you guys can adjust.
I said Guillory's going to win his matchup against Dodson, and that was the first touchdown.
He did, yeah. And Tyson did the same thing too against who's the Kobe? Kobe Bryant was on him, and that was a great job. Jordan Tyson's route running looked great.
Jordan Tyson actually drew some penalties on Kobe Bryant.
He did,
look a lot more of a shell of himself. Kobe Bryant was a lot of undisciplined penalties called on him. I think his talents were mitigated by himself, self-inflicted wounds.
Yeah, they didn't look like the best cornerback room in the nation like we were potentially teasing at. But they were solid.
The running back room came to par, though.
They were pretty good.
Yeah.
They were very good.
And
Devin Neal balled out.
Highshaw balled out more than Devin Neal, actually, until the end.
Well,
because half of Neal's yards came on that.
Exactly.
Was it 34-yard run? So.
Exactly. So we were mitigating Devin Neal all of the first 3 quarters until the end, and Highshaw was their running back, and they were actually putting him in a lot more weighty downs. Like, they were trusting him more.
I loved seeing the wide receiving room, too, get a lot of usage. I wasn't expecting as much usage of it, but Sam Leavitt was hitting his guys. I feel like there was a few times where some of the guys just kept – that's one thing that I've been very frustrated about with the wide receiving core is that it seems like people give up on the ball too early on, And it's something that I really want to see these guys adjust with. I mean, Jordan Tyson still looks great. His route running skills are still impeccable. Same thing with Xavier Guillory hitting that post route, beating his man. That was brilliant to see. I mean, I loved seeing Guillory make a huge play like that. And to kick off the drive was amazing. Cameron Mateer, our new tight end, has looked phenomenal as well. He balled out in the ASU game versus Kansas and a few other ones in the past. I forget what game was it. Was it the Texas Tech game where he had 2 tutties? Or was that Texas State? Sorry.
I believe it was Texas State.
Was it State? Yeah, State where he balled out. I love seeing Mateer get a lot of usage, especially because he's a great blocker. Gives me a lot of flashes to guys like, Darnell Washington, Mark Andrews, who's now I guess a left tackle for whatever reason. But I absolutely love seeing this wide receiving room and some of our tight ends get a lot of usage. Cam Scatterboot, too, on those wheel routes and on those flats is great to see as well.
Yeah, Scatterboot's 3rd in receiving by running backs across the nation and 6th in rushing yards.
Brilliant. I love seeing that.
Absolutely been incredible this year. I mean, Mateer could have got a little more usage, only 1
True.
catch for the touchdown, though.
For the tutty, the
For the
20-yard
touchdown.
touch. Yeah.
I teased this. Devin Neal's swing routes were going to be open, and guess what?
Yeah.
They were.
They were.
He caught a couple on us that I was like, oh, come on, guys. Like, that's coming. But other than that, I actually was pretty happy with how our defense played. I was not super happy with the officiating. We're not going to be super critical of officials very often on this podcast,
but taking an example.
It was a little bit much.
It was a little bit much.
New Big 12 team, and they had Dallas call in and confirm the targeting, even though that was definitely going to be picked up if Dallas didn't get involved.
True.
Keyshawn Elliott should be playing.
Yeah.
In next.
Actually, I think more or less it's Clayton's call that's not ruled as a targeting. In my opinion, I think it was a lot more. Keyshawn's was. You could say it's kind of reasonable. It was more or less the mask, I feel like, to the crown. But for Clayton's, I think he completely missed him. It looked like he got under. I don't think he hit really helmet. It just, it didn't look.
Jalon Daniels walked it right into it.
He bear hugged him.
Jalon Daniels,
he bear hugged him.
Yeah, he jumped into it. He did a weird jump throw.
It was like a Tua thing. And I was like, what's going on here?
And I get you want to protect a defenseless quarterback, whatever that even means. I feel like a quarterback has to make themselves defenseless. I don't think they should be coddled if they throw a ball while being gunned down.
And especially since it was a dead play.
It was a dead play, and neither of them realized the whistle blew. So why does McDaniels get a play through the snap? I get he didn't cause a penalty.
Right.
Why is it okay for him to play through the snap,
but not Keyshawn?
But not Keyshawn.
Yeah.
I didn't really make a whole lot of.
Clayton. Sorry, yeah.
Keyshawn was the other one. That didn't make a lot.
Gave him a pop.
Clayton's was the one that was a bad call.
Nothing above the shoulders.
No, it was a call.
A chest pop.
It was a call because it was on a dead play after he had thrown the ball. That's why they called it, and that's what didn't make a lot of sense to me.
See, that's fair, but also at the same time, Clayton's was the one that wasn't helmet to helmet. I don't think it was crown to crown.
Wasn't either though. His helmet hit the ball.
Yeah, his helmet hit the ball. Keyshawn's was stupid, but I will say Clayton's was the one.
Play. It was great football.
True.
But the Kansas receiver he pulled the Hollywood and just put his hands on his helmet for a little second, and then the ref was like, "Oh,
we're gonna
concussed."
Concussed.
No,
but
this is another week though of Keith Abney drawing DPIs. Some of them suspect, some of them actually valid. What do you guys have to think about our DB core? I was a little upset with Terrence Welch here and there. I mean, it's good to have another guy out there, some fresh legs, but again, I think our cornerbacks in particular are the weak spot of our defense. I'm
willing to completely agree with that. Keith Abney, I mean, we can sit here and
Luke Grimm didn't do anything.
No, he didn't. Yeah, he was.
J.D. Skinner.
True. J.D. Skinner had a great game.
Did he catch that end zone ball? Did he catch that touchdown? What do you guys think?
I don't think he did. I personally thought that ball hit the ground. I don't think he had possession when he went sliding, and that was my ruling on it.
So I didn't have a great view in the stadium.
No,
I didn't think so, but I was texting my buddy Nathan, and he was just like, "There's not enough to overturn it." Like he was watching on his television, and the camera angles they were showing. Obviously, they get more camera angles when they're making a call like that. For sure, but. He said
still didn't show us the right ones though.
In the stadium, they also showed us though.
The way they do it in the stadium is so weird. If you've ever gone to an Arizona State game, they don't have it set up.
True.
So you see they're user interface. It's
Yeah.
really
Oh, yeah, that was-
really
it was
weird.
funny, yeah.
They've done it like I think it's every game this season they've done it. I'm like you can't get like a nice little
Right?
graphic, little border. No,
But-
it's just going to be this weird, ugly UI, but whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just interesting. But they didn't give us any good views, so
was-
I'm not willing to make a call on that. And I just don't care. They got the W.
That's true, but at the end of the day, I do think that Kansas, I don't think he caught it. It looked like the ball had lost possession. He was still sliding.
Yeah.
If he did gain possession, I think it was when he was out of bounds, if anything.
That's what I was hearing. That
And-
I would be happy with that.
But it was whatever. I'm only upset about that because my score prediction would have been right if he didn't catch that touchdown, which would have been 24-35.
Oh.
I called ASU score. I did call ASU score, but I did not call Kansas's right. I had the ASU winning by 11.
Oh, you got sold, man. I was
got
not even
sold.
close. I had 30-23, so whatever. Thought there'd be a couple more field goals, but I forgot. Hershey can't kick.
Hershey.
Now they said no.
He needs a Hershey bar, man.
They
Give
they
this
said
man a
that
Hershey bar.
He needs a Snickers,
He got-
He
man.
needs the stickers.
He got benched.
He did.
He
Well,
deserved it because, oh my goodness.
And two things that I also want to say, though, too, going back to the original question, Trev, about our DB room, I agree with you. I think it's a really weak point in this defense, especially with Keith Abney getting all these DPI calls. We can call and argue all we want about whether or not they're bad calls. They're getting drawn on him. Specifically, over the last 3 games now, he's drawn 9 DPI calls.
Yeah,
9. That is,
Do or die.
that's unacceptable.
it's horrible. And it's, at the end of the day, again, you can say it's on
9
officiating,
in
but
5
he's still...
games, He's averaging 2 DPIs a game.
It's terrible, and it's all on plays that he should. Granted, it's all on plays where he probably shouldn't be drawing them, but also on big plays too that are important. That's what's really messing us up, in my opinion. And our DB room too, with I always forget who runs the other cornerback side of things. Javon Robinson. He's slow. Javon, to me, is a very slow DB. He can't stay on his corners a lot. I think he gets burnt, and he always tries to run over the top because that's the only way he can really stop his man.
Skinner got his yak. He got his aggressive
Yeah.
catches. He looked like the wide receiver one that they hadn't had all season.
I agree, and that's one of the things that I really think does kill this defense a lot, and especially with Keyshawn and Clayton Smith being gone for the Utah game for the first half, that's going to be really important too.
Yeah, so players to watch out for. Dorian Singer.
Of course.
Friday. I think we struggle against athletic, big body receivers.
I completely agree.
That's going to be our kryptonite for those DBs, and thank God we have a great safety core because they're the ones that really contain the deep half. But if we're giving these guys cover threes, they're just dropping back too much and allowing those short passes to add up on them. It's ridiculous.
I personally want to see Cyrus Fiasu play more of an aggressive middle linebacker
He's
role.
going to have the green dot.
Of course he is. I'm just saying I want to see him as a guy that plays his zone a little bit better because he's efficient.
Tate Romney, guys. What's your take?
I don't think.
I don't know. I have a take on it. I'm going to be
Yeah,
honest with you.
I mean, I think our team is fine,
Experienced D1 player, and
I know.
that.
but he's not. I feel like Tate being on the field
I like
doesn't
Jordan
add.
Crook play though.
I love Jordan Crook. Jordan Crook's done great coming off the bench for
Yeah,
us.
he actually has. He's been a significant plug and play for us.
I agree. He's done great on.
Now that Keyshawn's out the first half, I think he is going to step up with
I
Cyrus.
agree.
I think that those are our 2 starting guys.
Well, and Miles Razor, don't forget, one of the guys that'll come in and be playing a very significant role. Had 3 tackles, 3 solo tackles actually in the game against
He's
Kansas.
probably our leading tackler on the year.
Miles?
Yep.
I would say it's probably between Miles
Right.
and Keyshawn. Is it
Yeah,
Miles?
Yeah, probably Keyshawn. I
It
guess,
might be
but
Keyshawn.
I felt because
Because
Keyshawn
Keyshawn
beat
came out of
him
the
in 2
gates.
games. Yeah,
he came out of the gates very,
Ghost is
Yeah.
very fast. Hey, you want to know what I was impressed with?
Mr.
Mr.
Raleek
Raleek
Brown.
Brown. Oh my goodness. 7 carries for 41 yards. Every time he got the ball, pumping my fist in the nosebleeds.
Cool though. What I really love about Raleek is the effort. What really opened up the Kaman Mateer touchdown was Raleek sprinting his butt off on the wheel route, taking the coverage, and then Kaman was on the other side of the drag, got the wide open lane, and it was a perfect walk-in touchdown
True.
for him. And the first person I saw celebrating with him was Raleek.
Yeah. It was interesting the way they used him. They used him kind of as just a mini Scatterboo in
Yeah.
a way,
Yeah.
like a lot of in between the tackle stuff, which I feel like
Gap scheme.
gap
Yeah.
scheme. I feel like he's more of an edge running back,
Totally.
but he
It
was
worked-
getting
it worked out.
He was
Speed,
getting the
speed.
yeah. We really haven't seen the speed yet, but he was getting yards and he was chugging through. And there was a guy behind me that was like, this guy's small. Take him off the field. And I was like, dude. This guy runs.
I
It's like
really
Chris
wanna
Paul.
see-
He's a Pitbull.
Pitbull.
No, you guys
Mr.
Bulldog.
305.
Bulldog out there.
Speaking of Pitbull, he was just out here.
One of
he
the
actually?
more
Yeah.
talented small running backs in all of college football right now is Deion Lewis out of Pittsburgh. If anyone wants to go down that rabbit hole, but that's who Raleigh Brown should aspire to be like.
Well, and Raleigh Brown, too, I loved seeing him play that kind of mini Cam Scatterby role. I think that was actually a great comparison, especially with him doing all the lane splitting that he was trying to do. And I love seeing him get utilized like that, but I really want to see him go to that punt returner role. I know that we've been balling out. Has it been Melquan that's been balling out? I really want to see really get in there and just get a rep or
If it
two.
ain't broke, you don't fix it.
I get it,
You
but
know
also
what
if
Melquan
it,
did for us.
but also at the same
He had
time,
a 39-yard punt return.
okay, if it's
Put
not
us
broke,
in
don't
the
fix
game.
it. But also, if you can make it better, then repair it. So that's where I'm taking it with Raleigh.
I don't know if anyone's ever said that.
I don't, but I'm taking the
Because
trademark
if
on that.
If you can make it better, but it's still working, you're not repairing it. You're just optimizing it.
Exactly, or you're
Yeah,
upgrading it.
But how
I say
can you
upgrade.
Hey, we're
optimize
number
for
one. Hey, no.
Melquan?
ASU's number one in innovation.
Exactly.
dude.
We got to get
Yeah, we
innovative and creative.
Yeah, exactly. You don't need to innovate Melquan's amazing punt return play.
Exactly,
He's
but
been
instead
balling.
we can upgrade with Raleigh Brown. I personally would just love to see him at the punt return role. Maybe take one or
Until he
two and
muffs
just
the
see how
punt.
it goes. He's not gonna muff a punt. You can say the same thing about Melquan.
No, Melquan's an experienced punt returner who's been starting all year.
Okay, but also even experienced punt returners drop punts. Cordell Patterson and Devin Hester did that in their careers as well.
Okay.
On a
What?
completely different level.
Okay, but he muffed punts as well. I mean, he's the best
No.
returner of all time. He's
Okay,
not Hall
but-
for it.
It's easy to infer that football is a lot of recency bias. What have you done for me lately? Melquan has been doing a lot for us lately.
Fair.
All right. Well, let's get back on track, guys.
Sorry.
We
Little
didn't.
rant.
We didn't force any turnovers during this game, and this is one of the leading teams in turnovers in the entire
You wanna know what
nation.
we did force? Ourselves to go 0-5 on third down conversions in the first half.
Yeah, that was rough.
Tell us how
That was
bad we
rough.
were. Tell us. How were those thirds?
Not great.
It was bad.
I've talked about that on a couple podcasts now. It's been a struggle. It's a struggle for a lot. I remember, this is off topic, but Russell Wilson, in his dwindling years in Seattle, man, we would have games that we would win, by the way, but we would go like 3 for 9 on third downs for the entire game, and then we would somehow win like 18-9 against like a bad team like the
It's just all
Steelers or
about first
something.
down.
Yeah.
It's all about the first down.
Yeah, but no, if you can't convert on third down, you're not going to win some of these closer games. But 6 for 10 on third down isn't terrible for the game. 1-on-1 on fourth down, but I don't know. I'm more just concerned the fact that we didn't cause Jalon Daniels to throw a single interception. Like, what are our?
Well, it's because they didn't let him. They didn't give him the play calls or the liberty to be egotistical.
I think.
Well, how do you think he
disagree.
played? How do you think he played?
First half, he played great.
He
played
threw
really
two.
good.
My thing on this is where I'll disagree
And
a little
he
bit.
made Skinner look
Two-
legit.
260 yards, 18 for 31 on completions and attempts, 2 tutties, averaged about 8.4
But
yards
if
a
you look
throw.
at his first half
But
stats,
intermediate-
I think he had like 3 incompletions.
Which is fine, but it's the intermediate passing that beat us. At the end of the day, we have to play better zone coverage than that. We were
Yeah,
getting
it's
beat.
outside
We were
those
laying
numbers.
off of those zones.
He wasn't
Yeah.
as accurate, and we already predicted that he wasn't going to be accurate outside the numbers, but he still made some of those throws. That's why Skinner balled out so much, because he was getting those 10 and outs, and he was getting yak on them.
We held his running in check though. 6 carries for
we still
14
gave up a
yards.
running touchdown, though.
We gave up 2 actually.
Well, to
Jalen.
Oh,
To
to Jalen,
Daniels.
we gave up 1. Okay,
Yeah.
that's fair.
You know, he had a great
Like,
day.
you hate to see that, because you know it's going to obviously happen once.
He had a great day, and there was this guy wearing a Daniels jersey in front of me. Which, if you bought a Daniels jersey, what are you doing?
The second half, though, he didn't, right?
He didn't what?
Didn't play good?
He was fine. He was fine.
Jalen, I think, had a good game.
Overall, I
Second
would say
half, didn't
I would say he had a
think
good game.
that was-
Overall, he had a good game.
But I was hoping he'd have a terrible game, and
I
then
mean, I
all the
think all of us
Kansas
were, yeah.
all of the Kansas fans would leave in the first quarter or third quarter because for some reason they travel really well. I don't know what it is about Kansas.
See, the whole left, there was like the whole southeast side of the field had like a bunch
it was
of Kansas
just a bunch
fans.
of Kansas fans.
You want to know why? Because they've never been here, and we're a new Big 12 team, and you want to go visit.
Well, I was at the Kansas bowl game last year, and it was all Kansas fans, no UNLV fans. You wouldn't even guess that we are
Yeah.
a good 5 hours from Las Vegas. But
Jayhawk. I feel bad for them, honestly.
I love.
They're
Did you
not
guys
a
see
1-5 school.
no, I know. It's really bad. They had 1 year of relevancy, and now they're not good
Terrible.
again. It's really sad.
Did you guys see the one poster where it's like? It was like the Kansas poster, and it was like Thanksgiving came early, and it was the Jayhawk getting roasted on the
that they
devil.
posted on Barstool.
Yeah, it
that
was
was
so
funny. That was really good.
That made me laugh. That was my favorite poster from the game. And then the Yo-Yo Kid showed up. I'm telling you guys, our only loss is away without the Yo-Yo Kid, and now guess what? We are back on track because we have the Yo-Yo Kid.
The Yo-Yo Kid hopefully will be in attendance at the Utah game. Who was that lady dancing in front of him? That pissed me off, dude.
Yeah.
I was like, move! Get out the way!
In case nobody knows, ASU has a tradition of this kid named the Yo-Yo Kid who just does a yo-yo show basically every single chance he gets.
Yeah, he gets put up on the big screen like 3 times a game, and he goes crazy for
He's the
those
good luck charm.
15 seconds he's put on.
Yeah, we love the Yo-Yo Kid. What are your thoughts on the Yo-Yo Kid, Trev?
He's like that kid. Do you remember a couple years ago during the Suns playoff run who would like tear his shirt
Yeah.
and they made him bang the drums and then he tore his shirt.
Yeah.
That was kind of sick. Same vibe though, but yeah, okay. Kai, overall thoughts on the game as we wrap this up?
My overall thoughts on this game, ASU's defense is really starting to look way better than it did at the start of the year. I'm really starting to love the way that we're utilizing this wide receiving core. I think it's evident that Hines Ward has been improving the squad. I think Hines has also done a great job at being able to help Sam Levitt with his IQ. I know we talked about it a little bit in some press conferences earlier in the season where he wanted to work with him and his wide receivers so they could gain like a mutual level of respect. I think it's been something that's really worked out, and I can definitely see that he's done that. Another thing is, though, too, this running back room is looking greater and greater after every single game. Cam Scatterbo, he's starting to become that same guy that he was against Wyoming. I think he's finally starting to get on a tear. Malik Brown being back is going to be very, very huge for this running back room. I just want to see this defense be more aggressive out of the gate. They're a team that I know that can definitely hold themselves in the first half. They're a squad that'll come out, they can ball, they can definitely be shut down, but we just haven't seen it yet, and I want to see that. Brian Ward has talked all year about how he wants this defense to be aggressive, and I think he finally just needs a chance to showcase that. I'm praying it's against Utah, but I just want to see the squad do a little bit more. And I did call it, by the way. I want to say this again. ASU's offense was going to come out swinging on their first drive of the game, and they did just that. I know we talked about it earlier, but I wanted to say that. But overall, I think ASU is really starting to become a great squad that Trevor said that we would be at the start of the year. There's a lot of what's the
Pessimism.
word? Pessimism? Oh, gosh.
There we go. You got it.
There we go. Between me and Strider at the start of the year. But I'm really liking the way this ASU squad's playing. Overall, I think this team has a lot of highs that can keep this team going.
Not
So I'm
CFP,
excited.
but you got the mic. Give us your thoughts on the game.
For
Give
me,
us
it's
your
pretty
thoughts.
short and sweet. It's all about effort, in my opinion.
God, dude.
It's all about effort. Like, I know we have the talent, and I know we have the right schemes in place. It really was just a lot of effort shown on Saturday. Giving the 2-minute warning with all the context is all the context you need. Like, if you get the ball, if you're the last person with the ball in the rest of the game, it's done. Like, you have to finish that. You have to come out with the win. And, again, I love how Kenny always harps on the fact that we're a few plays away from a completely different feeling. Guys, imagine we drop that game.
We'll drop one game.
We'd be
Drop the Kansas game.
Oh, the Kansas game. Sorry.
What if we lost?
I was like, what?
What if we lost 28-31? How are we feeling?
Yeah, I'd probably cry.
Pit of despair.
Pit of despair.
0-2 on the Big 12.
Yeah.
But key plays on special teams, really good defense in the second half. The Devin Neal breakout touchdown. If that doesn't happen, we're holding them to 10 points in the second half. Jalon Daniels wasn't throwing like he wanted to in the first half. Yeah, Skinner dropped the touchdown pass. They obviously rigged it by not showing us the camera angle. Dallas hates us as a new Big 12 school. They're going to favor Kansas because
so do the refs.
They don't want to see a native Big 12 school and being so deficient within the conference. But at the end of the day, the better team is always going to come out with the win no matter the officiating. And I just saw significant effort from these guys. Like, everyone's bought in. This is a really cool story, guys. Like, there are only a handful of college football programs that get this kind of story. Really, with response.
And one of them is Vanderbilt.
Oh my gosh, what a
Yeah.
What a game!
All right, I know we're wrapping this up,
Honestly,
but can we just say, wow?
The best programs right now, complete flipping the script. ASU's one of them. Indiana's one of them. And then, I guess it's pretty cool if Vanderbilt beat Alabama, but
A team
They're
that
not gonna
lost to
do-
Virginia.
they're not
Tech
gonna do
at
much.
I'm not going to
else,
say
but-
I'm not going to say they're doing a program rebuild. I think that's just a classic Cinderella win. But
That's a
classic
win you
Cinderella
talk
win.
about for
Yeah.
the next 50 years.
Yeah.
That's a squad right there that is a definite win that'll be.
That's
talked
a
about for
defining
while.
moment for those
Yeah.
players' lives,
Did
honestly.
you know what is
Yeah.
it? Since 1968, Bama has only lost to 5 unranked teams after they've been ranked.
And Vanderbilt
one-
had
Vandy
never
was
beaten any.
No, yeah, they were 0
Vandy
and
had
60.
done none, and that's crazy that they went against the odds and beat Bama. Now Texas is at the top of their rankings after being on a bye week. I love seeing that. By the way, that's
What are
funny.
some other programs though that have hit a 180?
Rutgers, Nebraska.
I mean, Rutgers just dropped it to
Iowa.
Nebraska, yeah, they had Matt Rule.
Iowa?
They got Dylan Raiola. They
Iowa
really
State, sorry.
did.
Oh, I was like,
Iowa State we have yet to really
Nebraska's
see.
looked great too.
Yeah, like they had Matt Rule last year, and like they had that rebuild phase, and
Think
now they got
UNLV?
Dylan Raiola. UNLV deserved.
What about
that
Patrick
win.
Mahomes?
They deserved that win against Cuse. I felt
That was really bad. But I'll wrap this up. I'm gonna go actually a little bit different than you, Kai. I think I'm not totally sold on the talent on this defense, but
That's
I
fair.
am sold on Brian Ward, and I think this is more of an opportunity defense. I think that when these guys are given the opportunity to cause a turnover and to lock someone down in the red zone, that they're going to be able to do that way better than they're going to be able to do limiting a team to 200 yards on the game or 250, right? They're going to give up a lot of yards, but they're going to make key plays in key moments, and that's what's going to get this team by. And with this offense picking up steam, which we saw 35 points this game, I get Kansas's defense is
and great responses.
is not great.
Responding
Yes, responding
Yes.
adversity. Kansas's defense is not great. They like 80th in the nation, but guess what? They were
So
giving
they
up
have
28.
talented-
They were giving up 28 points going
A
into the
game,
game.
yeah.
We scored 35, so clearly we're better than the average, which is what we'll need to get through this Big 12 gauntlet we got ahead of us.
It's
It's
all
matchups.
Matchups.
And so overall, I'm pretty pleased with how this went. I mean, Jalon Daniels played the best game of his season, and
Oh.
Kansas still lost. So
Yeah.
there's not much else you can
He
say.
was just
Oh,
clean. That's
yeah.
all.
A win is a win, but at the end of the day, we got to definitely perform better against Utah in order to get that win.
Yeah, and we'll be breaking that down for you here very soon.
Very
So
shortly. So there'll be a
check that
second
out. We'll
stream.
probably have that up tomorrow. Okay.
Yeah.
Peace.
Thank you, everybody, so much for watching this 480 podcast. We'll see you guys in the next one.